what are you doing here? Like, why are you here?
Why are you here? Like, what? What is the goal?
What is the point?
There's no answer.
There's no answer. And I think that that's what we're meant to believe.
Moon loves Taurus. Moon is like, let me get cozy.
Yeah.
I'm on the couch now. I'm wearing comfy pants. I'm wearing soft pants.
It actually really does. For years, I was obsessed with Intervention, the show.
Oh, I never saw it.
Oh my God.
Should I?
No, it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
It's like kids?
No, it's like, it's like about drugs, you know?
Like it's a reality show.
Yeah, it's a reality show. And so
okay.
My greatest fear is like Rue getting on, like being addicted to drugs, like hard drugs, or like getting pregnant, but even more hard drugs, because I feel like I can it's like, okay, you're pregnant, we'll deal with that, you know?
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
But hard drugs, because oh my God, that's terrible.
It's really hard. It's hard on a family. It's hard on the person. Yeah, it's life or death shit.
But sex, I'm kind of just all right, we'll just get you some birth control or something. I don't know. I kind of, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, can you visualize Rue being like, what does she call you, by the way? Mommy, mama?
She calls me mom.
Or she's just like mom.
She calls me mom. Or sometimes she'll call me mommy. Or she calls me mama too, but she calls me mom. She'll be mom, mom, mom.
Oh, so she's like a teenager already.
No, she's a full teenager. Mom. Yeah.
And then she hits you.
She's a full teenager that calls me mom and hits me. Just don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Only the good ones.
I mean,
I have to add, I'm like, I don't, I know that this is not legal, but I did microdose for quite a while on and off. I would do 6 months at a time, microdosing mushrooms, and it was great. And then sometimes taking more for a purpose.
But as an adult.
As a woman who's almost 40.
With a mind who can
that's developed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who's oh, okay, I know this feels appropriate. I could da-da-da-da. Can you imagine being a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old being oh, I think this is a good amount for me today. Or you don't have that.
You don't have the discernment.
Perspective.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I did mushrooms and I did a hero dose, I was 17. Mm-hmm. And that probably was not a good idea. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I just, brain isn't
don't get me wrong.
Developed.
I did drugs as a teenager.
What kind?
Marijuana.
Same.
I drank.
That's a drug for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's it. I didn't try other drugs until I got to college. I mean, well, I guess I was still a teenager when I got to college. I went to college at 17, so I was 18, 19.
Oh, so you were young for your grade.
Because my birthday's in August, so I'm always the youngest of my class.
Of course, your Virgo mom did that.
So I was 18. Actually, I turned 18 right before I went to college.
Deborah, don't go after me. Don't get mad at me for saying that. But no, you did the right thing. Look at how smart she is.
Yeah, I was always the youngest. So yeah, I guess I was still a teenager when I was in college. So ecstasy.
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
I mean, now the kids call ecstasy Molly or MDMA.
Yeah. But it was ecstasy when I was in college,
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So I mean, sure, I tried drugs, but it's not good now because everything has fentanyl in it.
That's right. Not to be triggering, but
I know. Warning. Sorry, guys. This is not good.
We might cut this whole thing.
Okay. Yeah. But it's not safe.
It's not safe. It's it's too scary. And there's really because drugs aren't legal, there's no way to regulate what it is that you are taking. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I kind of am just I'm a natural girly.
Yeah. just
maybe some weed. If you like to have a little drink, that's fine.
Mushroom.
A little mushroom.
Maybe have a little cocktail. That's my vibe. You know what I mean? It's Cool.
I'm like, I'm gonna have a little matcha.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's like I like love the vibe. Like it's a nice little vibe. Like I just don't really like the chemicals.
Same.
I like ketamine.
You're like that. I like Taureas kid.
Yeah.
I like Taureas. Thank you, John.
Thank you for your contributions.
He's
John.
been trying to get me to try ketamine, so that's why he's always like, I think, because I don't drink alcohol now.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 years in July.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And which, by the way, I always like to talk about when it comes to like that I don't drink. I actually don't identify as an alcoholic. I don't feel like I don't have control over it. I just am like, I don't know if I like feel good when I do it. But there's a possibility that I might have a drink sometime.
Yeah.
Like definitely if my friends are drinking something, I like to taste it and be like, what does that taste like? But I'm like, oh, I don't actually want alcohol in my system anymore. But I also feel like part of that is like once you kind of stop doing it, you don't. Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
For years.
Same. High school.
4 years. From 13 to about 36, 37.
Too. Little, maybe more like 33 is like the last time I smoked a cigarette, but same. It was, I mean, I feel like cigarettes were really in when we were like growing up. Like it was cool to smoke. I don't know if it is anymore. It's cool to vape.
It's definitely not cool to smoke anymore, even though some people still do. But like, yeah. And I mean, all the way up until, I mean, it was so bad that I would be driving to go teach yoga, smoking a cigarette, and then I'd get to the studio and I'd have this whole routine where I would like do sanitizer, and then I'd have like a small scope in my car, and I'd scope, and then I'd do gum, and then I'd do lotion, like scented lotion, and I'd still walk in smelling like cigarette smoke because you can't get rid of cigarette smoke smell, guys. You know
Let
what
me
I
just
mean?
tell you, when I was in high school, I smoked cigarettes. You know, Victoria's Secret had like scents. My scent was Love Spell, which is purple. And I would smoke, and then I would spray a bunch of Love Spell on me and walk in the door and think that my parents didn't know I wasn't smoking.
It's like, no, you just smell like cigarette smoke and love spell, basically.
I mean, sometimes my sister would steal my dad's herbal cigarettes, which like was funny that my dad had them like for a special occasion, and he would be like, you know, they're not bad for you because
Right.
they're herbal,
Right.
whatever the fuck that means.
Right.
And we would smoke them in my parents' basement while my parents were home and think nobody would know. Like we'd spray some kind of whatever perfume we had. I think it was like Wind Song or something. And we would spray it around after and just act like, and my parents never said shit. Like, I don't know if they knew and they were just
like, whatever. They're teenagers. Let them live their lives. It's fine. Yeah. Cigarette smoke. Terrible. I mean, honestly, I had to stop because my asthma got so bad. I might still be smoking cigarettes with them. I think probably I would have eventually stopped. But like my asthma got so bad that literally I was like, I can't smoke cigarettes anymore.
damn.
Parliament lights.
P-Funks.
Parliament lights. Those are mine. I started.
Did you
with-
ever go American Spirit?
I never did. I started
an
with
LA move.
I started with Marlboro Ultralights when I was in New York City, and then somebody got me onto Parliament Lights, and I did Parliament Lights all the way to the end, baby.
She's committed. Well, on that note,
Anyways, on
speaking
that
of
note,
commitment,
speaking of commitment,
it's Taurus season.
okay. So the phone is ringing.
Oh. Let me pick it up. There's no cord on this phone because the universe doesn't need an actual cord. It's connected.
It doesn't.
Hello? Oh, okay. Hey, Court,
Yeah.
the universe called.
Well, what did they say?
It's time to kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the escape beat.
Just kick it. Okay. Really? That's gonna be the longest title of a.
No, it's just kick off your shoes and relax your feet.
Okay,
That's
okay,
what the
okay.
universe said.
Okay, that's what the universe
thanks. Bye.
Oh, kick off your shoes and relax your feet.
It is Taurus season. It's my season.
It's your season. Happy birthday, Natalie.
Thank you. My birthday is May 5th.
Yay.
So we're a little bit before, but
That's okay. Well, I used to celebrate all month.
Well, I'm not a Leo, but I usually do a birthday week. No, I'm just kidding. I do a month. I feel special the whole season. I feel special. I kind of walk around like I am a bull in the world.
As you should. You know? It's your season.
Like a bull with like flowers in her hair.
Yeah. You should feel, it's like you should feel like, I don't know, like lit up or something.
I do. And and it's like, because it's all, when we're in a solar season, I feel like we all experience that season. You know, like when it's Leo season, I am feeling myself. Like I am like, I look good. I am a star.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel every day?
I mean, I wish I could say that, but like, it's somewhere there.
It's somewhere there, like where you're like, I'm actually important, you know? And I think with Taurus, I'm like, I am chilling.
Yeah.
I am enjoying. So with that all being said, it's time to kick off your shoes and relax your feet.
What can you tell us about the Taurus?
Wow. How much time do you have?
I mean, we've got all the time in the world for you.
All right. Let me just say, and this does happen, I often will give you like all the great things about Taurus.
We want to hear it.
But there are so many things to love about a Taurus. So Taurus is fixed earth, meaning we like to talk about the different types of signs. Fixed is in the middle. Fixed is like established, rooted down. That's how Courtney likes to say, like, we've set up shop and we're digging in. So usually fixed meaning unmoving, very rooted in what they're doing. And it's earth. It's an earth sign. So we're talking about the material when we talk about Taurus. I really like Taurus of all the earth signs. No offense, John. Virgo. Because I feel like it's the fun one. I think earth signs, they can be kind of serious, like because they're all about the material and steadiness and moving forward. But I think Taurus is sort of fun because it's about the good shit. It's like Taurus likes the finer things in life.
Well, because it's ruled by Venus, yeah?
Thank you. It's ruled by Venus. So it's all about the beauty that's around us, listening to good music, eating delicious food. It's very tapped into your senses. It's very sensual, very sexual. Just saying. I'm just saying. So it's all about like touch and feeling and sensing all the things that are around us. And it's very much a sign of abundance and wealth.
Yeah.
Like ask your Taurus friends some advice when it comes to money.
Oh,
They're always going to be on top of the money part.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you have a best friend who's a Taurus?
When you
were growing up? One of her best friends.
One of my best friends.
We don't want to get people mad.
No. One of my best friends.
I thought I was your best friend.
One of my best friends, Sabrina, shout out Sabrina, is a Taurus. And actually, it's so interesting. Let me see if I can get this right, what her job is. But her job is so Taurian. She, first of all, she started out as a makeup artist, but now she's like really high up in like Mac and Joe Malone. So she like basically runs like mini stores all over the country. And like, that's just, you know, it's just about like textile and tactile things and like beauty. I mean, she literally works in beauty.
Is she beautiful?
She's gorgeous.
Just saying.
She's a very beautiful person, and she loves beautiful things.
Yeah.
I mean, her taste is just immaculate. Like, she has great taste.
I will say Tauruses have the best taste. Like, they know what is like the best music. They know what is the best art. They know, like, they buy the expensive parachute sheets or whatever that is for you. You know what I mean? I'm like that.
It's quality over quantity. They're bougie.
Bougie AF. Like, I can't buy the cheap thing.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could just buy the cheap thing and live with it. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I'll buy something secondhand if I have to. But it's like, I will save up my pennies to buy the nicer sheets. I will live with rips in my sheets until I can buy the nicer ones. Like, I will not buy a cheap couch from IKEA. I will buy a secondhand West Elm couch.
Because they want to be there. There's a level of comfort.
It's also comfort. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's also that we want things to last. We build things to last.
Yes.
Lasting comfort.
The sustainability of it. Yeah.
It's so steady. And some people might say, boring.
Sure.
They're wrong. Obviously, they're wrong. I think Taurus can be very stubborn. Right. Once I get an idea in my head, I am unmoving. Like trying to I'm actually okay with traveling, but it's like if I get an idea about like what it is that I want to do, it's very hard for me to go, okay, I'm gonna change. I do have a lot of water in my chart, so I feel like personally I can adapt. But I think a lot of Tauruses are very, very fixed in what they want to do, which, also can be thought of as stubborn.
Well, I think it's just they have a very specific point of view. And a way of seeing things. I'm actually surrounded by a lot of Taurian people, Taurus people. My friend Justin also is a Taurus.
Oh, right.
And the creator of Dear White People. And he, like, his taste in film and television is just so, it's so impeccable. Like, his creativity is just so expansive.
Yes.
And I think that is very Taurian,
Yes.
We're gonna, again, I was talking about Sabrina and her creativity as far as like when it comes to like beauty, but like his creativity, the way it expresses in his art, in this way of art, right? Because beauty is also a way of expressing art, but
Absolutely.
like just that the Venusian influence, in the Taurus is so. It's so interesting the way that it shows up.
It shows up so physically. Like, it shows up in, like, the physical realm, I feel like. Like, yes, we're talking about, like, film and TV in Justin's case. But it's like, but that is a physical expression.
Absolutely.
Still, like, it's like, see this art. Enjoy it.
Well, because you're creating something. You're creating something and you're putting it out there into the world.
I do think, like, just to segue into this teaching, right, that we're going to talk about today, is that I think that a lot of creativity actually can be born out of being very stable and very comfortable also. Like if we're thinking about how things grow and how things expand, they have to grow from the ground up. And something that is nurtured and something that is stable has a lot more ability to expand and create. I mean, maybe you can create out of chaos. I'm sure that can happen. But I do think that a lot of creativity coming out of that like stable place, that steady place, can be extremely expansive.
Yes, absolutely.
And that makes me want to think about Santosha, if we're ready. Yeah?
Yes.
Tell us about Santosha.
Santosha. What is Santosha? It's the second niyama. Cool. So
And the first
is purity, cleanliness.
Saucha.
Saucha. Thank you. I was thinking of the translation, Saucha. So last episode, we were talking about the yamas, right? We talked about the first two yamas. So the yamas and the niyamas are the first two limbs of the 8-limb path. I think a quick understanding of what the 8-limb path is. So the 8-limb path is some might say the path to enlightenment, if you will, the path to, liberation. It's laid out in the second chapter of the Yoga Sutras. And the first two limbs are really yoga ethics. It's how we live our lives, right? How we are encouraged to live our lives.
Yeah. And also I've heard it like as how we as yogis interact like with ourselves
and with
the world.
Yes, with the world. So the yamas is how we interact with ourselves. Yeah. Or no, with the world.
That's the world.
Yeah.
The niyamas are ourselves.
With ourselves. Great. So the second niyama, Santosha, is translated often to mean contentment.
Yeah. And the Yoga Sutra 2.42 tells us contentment, santosha, brings supreme happiness. Or by contentment, the swift, easy flow of supreme joy is attained. So it's a state of being, and it's sort of like an attitude. Kind of towards, we start with ourselves by being satisfied with ourselves. And it's not just being content with what is in a way that's like fleeting, but I think it's like really about abundance. Me personally, I've always thought of it as like, I have enough right now, or I am enough. Because it's like, it's not just about the physical, the material, even though Taurus will tell you it is, right? It's about this abundance that's within.
And to add on to that, because I think it absolutely is about recognizing the abundance within, right?
Yeah.
And it's being unshakable, right? And because I know myself, right? Knowing thyself, whatever's happening around me, I have the ability to move with it without it tearing me down, right?
Yeah.
I am not at the whim of my circumstances. In yoga, there's something called the gunas. Rajas is like this very like fiery, like high-tempered,
Like,
hot.
get it going.
Yeah, kind of energy. Tamas is like low, sluggish, heavy, passive. And sattva is kind of like even-keeled. It's like the balance. It's kind of being in the middle. And I often think of like santosha as like riding the sattvic wave, right? It doesn't mean that I'm flat. Thank you. That's a perfect word.
Well, you did this. I was like, that's what it is.
That's a perfect word.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride. I'm riding, right? I'm gonna experience life. I'm experiencing life as it's happening, and I might feel anxious or angry or sad or mad or all of the things, but I don't have to attach myself to these things, right? I'm just riding the wave. I'm able to ride the sattvic wave. There's a story that a teacher was told to me. His name is Nish.
Y'all should
if you're able to
check out
find
his
him.
work.
Yeah, he goes by Nish the Fish.
Actually, we can put this in the show notes.
Yeah, we should. He's phenomenal.
Incredible. What a magical person.
An incredible
Scholar,
being.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will not tell the story exactly as he tells it. This is how I remember it, but it touched me in such a way, and I tell it to my students now. It goes something like this. So the Ganga River is this like magical river that is located in this magical town. This town that is so incredibly magical that people come to die here because they believe that if they die there, their karma will be better, or they will come back. Their next life will be like a better life or something like that. So they'll spend like their last pennies to like buy wood so that they die with the wood, hoping that someone will burn their bodies in this town.
Wow.
Yeah. So because of this, in this Ganga River, there's all of these dead bodies. It gets a little bit morbid, that float along the river because there are so many people that come to this town to die in this town. Along this river, along with the dead bodies, there are these beautiful malas that also float along the river, these magical malas that are said that if you grab a mala, you find a mala, you kind of have with it these magical powers as well. These beautiful like malas of flowers. Along the riverbank are all of these like nuns and Brahmins that sit to meditate. And also, you can come and anybody can come and sit in along the river and meditate. And if you want to come and sit along the river, the instinct is to reach out and grab a mala because with that mala might come some like magical, energy and you want it. But here's the thing. Along with these malas along the river are these big, bloated, dead bodies. So if you reach into the river to grab a mala, there is a high percentage that you will be knocked over by a dead body.
Wow.
So the point is, just like the mind, if you would try to attach yourself to the good, to like these beautiful malas, you have to take with it the bad, quote unquote. if you attach yourself, the brain works like this. If you attach yourself to these positive experiences, the great things that happen in your life, you will also attach yourself to the terrible negative things that happen.
Because you're attached.
Because all your brain knows to do is attach.
Yeah.
So the practice is that you can sit on the river and observe instead of reaching out to try to attach yourself to anything. Now, I understand that, like, it feels like, oh, okay, well, that means you just don't, you don't get to really enjoy anything in life. And that's not what I'm saying. But it's that I get to observe it, I get to enjoy it, but I don't identify myself with everything that happens here in life.
No, that would be exhausting.
And that is, to me, what Santosha is. It's that, wow, that's really cool that just happened. Really cool that I'm experiencing this moment right now with you, Natalie.
Yeah.
And also,
you can still feel the emotion that comes with it. You can still be like, I'm elated to experience this moment with you.
Absolutely. And something really terrible might happen when I leave out of here and walk to my car. I hope not. But if it does.
Careful what you say.
I know, honestly. And if
Words
it does,
yeah,
I'll experience that. And hopefully I'll be able to move on as well.
Well, I mean, on a bigger scale, I mean, like, if we're talking about, like, life or death, it's just like, listen, it's all part of our lives anyway.
This is the practice of Santosha.
Yeah.
It's that I recognize that I, myself, like we're talking about the abundance, I am unshakable. What's happening in my life does not detract from what is already within.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily add or detract. It can enhance or it can adjust, but it's not taking away or adding. I'm enough already as I am.
That feels very Taurus.
Absolutely.
Like, it's very stable. It's very like, okay, I'm enough.
Mm-hmm. And if we're really talking about, like, Taurus kind of being the material and like these things, what if really Taurus is just, again, all of the things that the Taurus loves, it's just really kind of a mirror for what is internal.
That's right. I mean, I don't like the toxic, like, spiritual bypassing, like, wellness, like, feel abundant and you will be abundant.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that there's also a level of when you have an attitude of, like, I am okay no matter what happens. And we could be talking about material and money. We could be talking about emotional. We could be talking about anything. All right. But I do think that if you're like, I'm good with myself, I do think that has an effect on the way that you interact with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we're not coming from a space of I'm lacking something outside of myself. So I do feel like I don't want to be like, just be abundant and you will receive more. But I do feel like there is some aspect of practicing gratitude for what you have, whether it's as simple as, like, connecting to, I am breathing right now. That's, like, one that I can always go back to. It's like, I am alive right now. I am in this body right now. I am able to sit on my mat and meditate. And having that as your kind of starting point gives you a sense of strength that I do think has an effect on the way that you interact with everything around you. And it's, like you said, a mirror. And so what you're feeling, you're putting out there. Okay, so when we talk about abundance, it does make me think of, and oftentimes I'll teach this in a class, is think about the Hindu goddess Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of wealth, good fortune, happiness, and beauty. So she kind of represents, like, prosperity and perseverance and liberation. She's always depicted really beautifully dressed, and she has 4 arms. She's sitting on a lotus flower, and she has a lotus in her hand, which symbolizes like fortune and knowledge and spiritual liberation. There's elephants with her, around her. So it's very much, I feel like she's very Taurean. Like she is there to connect us to that that feeling of prosperity when we're talking about the material, but also celebrating the things that are beautiful. And so we can kind of, when we talk about that in the sense, in the context of a yoga class, because sometimes I will like teach a class with a Hindu god or goddess or teaching, we're embodying those qualities. So we might, this season, I feel like if you look at images of her, she looks very peaceful. She looks very sweet. She looks satisfied.
Satisfied is a great word.
Satisfied. Because it's like if you are content, you have a sense that you are, like, it's like, I'm good. I'm okay. Have you ever done the Artist Way?
No.
So Artist Way is, it's a workbook. It's a creative workbook, and there's 12 weeks of it. And I encourage everybody to do it at least once.
I have the book. It's on my bookshelf.
That's like the story of everybody. Everybody's like, I have it. I started it, or I read the first chapter. That's totally fine. I've done it 4 times, and I've only like completed it fully twice. But each time I did it, I really got something out of it. It's 12 weeks, and each week you're focusing on something new. There's tasks for you to do. And I believe it's week 5, and that's abundance or natural abundance. And what she says is to go out and like take walks every day and look at the abundance around you. So like things that like, even though we're talking about material wealth, when we talk about Taurus, I do think like we can look at the wealth in the sense of like being in awe of nature, being in awe of like the trees that you see, the flowers, like the sunshine, like there is abundance that's actually all of ours. Which is like a different way of thinking, because we come from colonialism and patriarchy, and we think about it's mine, I own this.
Yeah.
And this is a different lens, which is like actually it's all of ours, and we share this. And I do think that thinking about things in that sense is so abundant.
Yeah.
This earth, you know, I'm getting really into the earth, like feeling into the earth in this season and celebrating that and having gratitude for it, especially right now when it's under attack with the current administration, with like the national parks or whatever. It's like loving on the earth. How can we do that?
It feels very Taurian to love on the earth and
totally
connect to the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to go back to, I mean, this is a new moon. Moon loves to be in Taurus.
Yeah.
Moon loves Taurus. Moon is like, let me get cozy.
Yeah.
I'm on the couch now. I'm wearing comfy pants. I'm wearing soft pants.
It actually really does love this placement. Yeah.
And in fact, I encourage you, you know, if you're kind of curious about moon placement, the moon changes signs about every 2 days. It cycles through the zodiac, and it's going to go from new to full in about 14 days. And then it goes from full to new. So we're always in this cycle. It's interesting to look at what sign the moon is in.
Yeah.
And be like, how is my vibe today?
Yeah.
And I do feel like right now you might have a really sweet, relaxed vibe.
Yeah.
Like a moon in Taurus is comfortable. It's like eating like a really delicious piece of chocolate cake. You know, it's like it's cuddling with their animal or with their lover. Ugh, I kind of hate that word lover.
Oh, really?
Like being like, it's my lover. Like, have I ever called you a lover?
I didn't know you had a problem with that. I don't remember.
I don't think we've ever said that because it kind of gives me the ick.
Interesting.
But if you like it, that's fine.
Okay.
Lover. But like, you know, touch,
also
sensuality.
a really great time, I think, for again, creativity. Feeling like if you're like feeling like those creative juices are flowing, like really like nurturing that. That's the thing about when we're talking about abundance, when we go back to this theme of abundance, the abundance is this reminder that you are good enough. And I think we've even we've talked about this in previous episodes. So maybe this is something that is coming through us that you need to hear. We all need to hear over and over again.
You need to hear the universe is
Yeah,
calling.
the universe is calling and saying, we are enough. You know, you are enough. I am enough. You are enough. We are enough. That like we have enough. And so I think this idea that the word hungry keeps coming up. I don't know why, but like that we are left to be starved, you know, like we don't have enough. Like, it's like, oh, there's more. We're not good enough. We're not good enough. And that's where kind of this idea of like things need to be perfect. Perfection is steeped in, again, the patriarchy and white supremacy, that if you're going to do something, it needs to be perfect. It needs to be right. And you know, I struggle with that, Natalie. We've talked about this. Like
We've talked about this.
I definitely.
I'm definitely the opposite.
I know, which I love.
Well, which balances us out, because I'll be
Yeah.
like, let's toss this out, and Courtney's like, no,
I'm like, it needs to be right. It needs to be right.
Courtney's quality control.
I am quality control. But I am learning. And I do think that, like, yes, in certain ways, like building a business, building a brand.
I'm sorry, hold on. You are so like, you are not a perfectionist.
No.
Like, I think that we're joking a little bit.
We are.
But you are so, when I see you teach a class and you're just talking to the room, you're so alive and in the moment. And I don't feel like you're worried about being perfect. And when you're not worried about being perfect, it gives us permission not to be perfect too. I'm crying.
Don't cry.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's very powerful when we see other people allow themselves to be creative, to be so open in themselves. It gives us that freedom. And if we're talking about yoga, we're always going to be talking about liberation. And I do think creativity is a form of liberation. And I feel like my mom recently like told me this, but I don't know where she heard it. Maybe it was a podcast, but she was just like, if you're anxious, create. Like, we can't be anxious and creative at the same time.
She saw that on like something.
It was like Oprah or something.
It was on Oprah. She saw that on Oprah.
It's always Oprah.
Yeah, she saw that on Oprah.
Yeah.
Because I saw that same clip.
Right. And I do feel like that's perhaps creativity right now could be medicine for this patriarchy, white supremacy world that we've been just brought up in. I mean, like, we do have to talk about these things because we are both into social justice, and we do want to speak to the world that we're living in. We're living in this capitalist world, and we've been told over and over, don't do something unless it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, and then what happens if we do that? We literally get ourselves stuck, and we cut off our ability to tap into abundance, and we cut off our ability to channel what is here. And really, when we're offering creativity, we are giving gift to the world. Not just like how I mentioned on your level where you're giving somebody a gift to, I don't have to be perfect either, but also quite literally the material aspect of creating something.
We're talking about Lakshmi, it's like prosperity, it's wealth. I mean, we are literally gifting
ideas and films, TV shows, books, artwork, jewelry, food, you name it. Tap into that Venus energy and create it. And with that being said, since we are in a new moon, and since we are talking about Taurus being this stable, nurturing sign, I'm like rocking a baby, right? This is also a time to give yourself rest. So much is created when we actually do rest, when we do allow ourselves to go into the void, when we do allow ourselves to let go a little bit. Sometimes it's amazing what can happen when we actually take rest.
Yeah.
You know, every summer John and I go to this music festival his friend puts on, and we have like no phones, and we're like camping, and we're not working. And after like 4 to 5 days of that, I feel like I have so many new ideas. And while I'm there, I'm not creating.
Yeah.
I'm not creating when I'm there. I'm just simply being. And I think Taurus, it reminds us that it's okay to just be.
Yeah.
And we come back to that teaching that you said, which is you are enough. And if we're thinking about nurture and love on yourself right now. If you can, like, even if it's just a self-massage, give yourself a self-massage. Get your boo to give you a massage if you got one. Pay somebody to do it if you have the means. Like, do something sensual and in your body.
Yes.
Like, put on lotion after the shower. Talking to myself here. Sometimes I'm like, and then I'm like looking at my legs later.
It's like dry.
It's like scaly. Especially in LA, like shit is dry here. Dry. Like I go to Michigan, I barely listen. I go to Michigan.
No, you need the lotion.
But I don't even need lotion out there. It's like humid as hell. I barely even like put lotion on my face here. I'm like flaking.
Oh no, you need
don't
it
look
here.
don't look at the flakes. On that end. What else?
That's it.
Oh, what about reminds you of your natural light? Or do you feel like we did it?
I think we kind of did that, but I think we can just say that. Like,
why don't you say that?
I mean,
I just talked for like 10 minutes.
Sure. Like what? Because you were talking about like doing some of the things that you can do during this time, but I think ultimately, just doing anything that reminds you of your natural light. So, surrounding yourself with your best friends or family, taking a bath, looking at nature or art. But what makes you feel full and sensual and lit up during this time?
Kick off your shoes and relax your feet.
Yeah.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We love you. And on that note, with this abundance that we are feeling, with us putting out this creative energy into the world, it really helps us if you follow, click subscribe on all the things. Send us some comments. Let us know what you think about this time.
Yes. And also let us know if you are listening to the playlist, if you are interested in the playlist. We want to know if we should still keep making the playlists. So talk to us.
Let us know. Yeah.
And let us know what you'd like more of. And we'd like to talk back to you.
Yeah, we'd like to talk back. In fact, we have our email in the show notes. So now if there's a question that you have for us, you can pop it into the show notes or you could put it on a comment and we will use it in our next episode.
Yay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
The Universe Called podcast with Natalie Burtney and Courtney Sauls. Filming and editing by John Meyer. Theme music by Chit Cray, Studio Inertia. Special thanks to Donna and Robbie Falks.